You know, crystals can be really valuable. And you know, gem crystals and others are the most valuable, but you can find crystal specimens, and crystal specimens can sell for 5, 10, 15, 20, even 30,000 and more. I've seen specimens on sale that, well, of course it has to be something really spectacular to get that kind of money, but even crystals of more common minerals can be really quite valuable. Now, I'm Chris Ralph, the professional prospector, and today we're talking about the value of crystals and how you can mine them and make some money for yourself looking for crystals. Now, yes, like I say, gem quality specimens and really spectacular stuff can sell for huge amounts of money. Let me show you some pictures and explain a little bit.
This is a beautiful gem topaz crystal, and of course the gem crystals are going to get the highest prices. It's a little over 2 inches tall, but the price on this beautiful crystal was $85,000. And if you think that's expensive, well, this is an emerald crystal, and it's not really gem quality. It's got a lot of flaws and other materials in it, but it's pretty. It's $125,000. And while the gem minerals are the most expensive, other specimens can be very expensive as well. This is rhodochrosite, and this is not a big, large, single crystal like the ones we just looked at. This is what I would call a druze. It's basically a ball of little crystals coated around the outside of something, and they're asking $25,000 for this. And rhodochrosite is not that rare of a mineral. This is a piece of wolfenite and mimite. It's materials that form from the oxidation and weathering of certain types of lead ores. And yet, look, this is not a huge crystal either. This is maybe the size of a 50-cent piece, and they're asking $10,000 for it. This is just a little set of garnet crystals, orange. It's grossularite. Orange grossularite is called hessonite. And it's not a particularly spectacular thing. It's not gem quality. And yet, look, they're asking $8,500 for this specimen. I hope you get my message that mineral specimens and crystals can be quite valuable.
But even though those are the most expensive types, some pretty common crystals can also have significant value in a number of different markets. You know, sometimes it's the specimen collector, sometimes it's like decor and decorating. Crystals are a big attention getter and can be, you know, a centerpiece that really is spectacular. But it's also the crystal healing market. One of these days we're going to talk about that. But there's a lot of different markets for crystals, and you can get in on it and make some money with crystals. Let me show you some specimens, not as spectacular, but definitely worth some money that I collected, and give you some idea about the value of different kinds of crystals and how you can get involved in it.
So I got out my new microscope camera and took a bunch of pictures to show you guys. So here is a ball of pyrite crystals that I picked up at an old mine. Now, this kind of thing is not worth huge amounts of money, but it has value. It's a saleable commodity. Now, garnet is a pretty common mineral. It occurs in a lot of different types of situations, and it can be found in a lot of places. And I picked up a lot of nice specimens over the years. This little one is a little surface coating of nice garnet crystals. They're a pretty orange color, and it has value. Here's another example that I found of garnets growing on a surface, and I've actually seen rather large rocks that could be used for home decorating or that kind of thing that are covered with beautiful crystals, sparkly crystals like this, and they can have some real value. Here's some nicer quality garnet crystals. Some of these crystals are a little lighter in color, but they're almost gem quality. Some of them actually probably could be cut into small gems. And again, these kinds of things, when they get to be gem quality, have a greater value than the non-gem quality ones, even though the non-gem quality ones do have a good value of their own, just because they're pretty. This isn't the best picture of this specimen, but I actually found this out by an old turquoise mine, and this is a clam fossil with turquoise. It's not filled with turquoise, but it has turquoise on it. And it's a rare and unusual thing to have a clam fossil that's partly turquoise. It would have a lot of value. The same copper that colors turquoise blue can color other minerals various other shades of blue, including dark blue and greens. And this piece of azurite, which is a dark blue turquoise mineral, I picked up at an old copper area. And these kinds of things have value too. In fact, the really nice crystals of azurite can actually have the value in the thousands of dollars. In fact, some specimens of copper ore, even I've seen big pieces of rock like this, can be colored beautiful shades of blue and green and can make for interesting decorative uses in homes for sale as large rocks and not so much as mineral specimens, but still they have value in the decorative market. Over the years, I've found my share of gem quality stuff too. This is a piece of a tourmaline crystal that I picked off the dump of an old gem mine in Southern California in San Diego County years ago. It's too flawed to be cut as a faceted stone, but it would make a lovely cabochon for a ring. Now, this beautiful crystal of aquamarine beryl is something that's actually quite valuable because not only does it have good crystal growth faces, but it also is clean enough that it could be cut as a very nice gemstone. So it gets kind of double the value because of the gem quality and the crystal. But not everything has to be a gemstone. This purplish color material is just a mica. It's a member of the mica mineral family, and it has this lavender to purple color because of the lithium that it's in it. It's a lithium mica known as lepidolite, and it makes great specimens. And you don't have to have large single crystals either. Sometimes surfaces covered with a series of small crystals can still be valuable. They're called druze or druzy materials. Sometimes the druzy crystal materials can be fairly small. The last one was kind of big and coarse. This is a more medium scale crystals. And sometimes they can be quite small. This is little needles of a druzy growth of calcite on a rock. Sometimes the beauty of a crystal specimen is about the contrasting colors. You have the beautiful blue-colored feldspar, amazonite, and then smoky brown quartz crystals next to it. And actually, really fine specimens of this, again, can be in the many thousands of dollars. This material is mined both in Colorado and at a single mine in Nevada. And this specimen is from the mine in Nevada. Sometimes knowing rare occurrences and rare mines can be very productive in finding crystals. This is actually a little green crystal of emerald from a mine in Nevada. Now, I have some specimens that are much nicer than this, that the emerald is much more beautiful green color. The emeralds here are a little unusual. They're not colored by chromium. There's really no chromium in the mix here, but they're colored by vanadium. It's a mine that likely has some vanadium, and that's what's giving the crystal the green color of emerald. And finally, this is an opal on its matrix that I collected in Nevada. It's on basalt or in basalt, and you can see the red, orange, and green colors of the opal flashing through there underneath the rock. And, you know, mineral specimens where you have gem minerals in the matrix have a very particular value and market of their own that's usually pretty high. So I hope you've enjoyed my little tour of mineral specimens with my camera microscope, and you can see that it doesn't have to be a huge crystal to be valuable. Now, this camera microscope, it's been a great tool for me, and if you're interested at all in purchasing one for yourself, I'm putting a link in the description below so you can check it out. They're for sale on Amazon.
Now, even some ore specimens can be valuable. I've seen, some really nice ore specimens, depending on what they're made of, silver minerals and that kind of stuff can be really spectacular and really valuable. even more common types of ore specimens that are beautiful can be valuable as well, because they may not be the finest of crystals, but they can be still valuable and things that people want to buy. Now, one of the things that I don't want to leave off is that crystals require marketing. You know, unlike gold, where you can just go to a buyer and say, here's my 10 ounces of gold, you know, pay me the value of the bullion minus a profit for you, to a refiner. Crystals are more subjective. You know, it's a beauty in the eye of the beholder kind of thing. It depends on what the person you're marketing to is looking for. Are they looking for healing crystals? Are they looking for, like I say, decor and decorating types of things? Is it a crystal specimen collector? Because there are definitely people who spend big money collecting beautiful crystals. So it all depends. The marketing is different depending on what product you have and where you're going to go. And one of the things I'm going to make real clear is I'm not offering to do marketing. I get people all the time saying, hey, I've got some really cool minerals. You want to buy them? And no, thank you. I'm not in the business of selling minerals. But, you know, if you develop your own market, you know, fossils and other things too can be really valuable. I showed you that fossil. That probably would have some significant value because of the unusual nature of a fossil with turquoise. So it requires marketing. You have to find the right people to buy your product. And that's something that makes it a little more work to make money out of crystals. But believe me, there are people making big livings off of mining crystals and related types of products. Now, most of my videos, like I say, I mentioned, are about gold or related types of things. And finding gold, finding crystals, finding any kind of minerals, it's a skill. You have to understand some geology. You have to understand, you know, how these things work. Like I say, you have to understand marketing for marketing crystals. But the same would be true if you had gold specimens, really spectacular specimens of crystal gold. You know, those require marketing to get the value that's more than just the bullion value. Now, if you want to find out more about crystal gold, I'll put a link to a video I have right up here, and you can take a look at it. I don't know, there's whatever side it ends up on. But still, there's a value in that, and finding gold and finding these things is a skill. And especially with finding gold, I wrote a book called Fistful of Gold that is to teach you about finding gold. If you want to be the person that goes out and finds gold, you want to be successful about it, great, the book is for you. And you know, we're way too late, 150 years too late, to be the guy who goes out and just trips over a 25-pound nugget. Today, it takes skill, it takes knowledge, it takes, you know, what you're doing. So I wrote this book. It's for helping guys and gals learn how to prospect better and find more gold. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my book right now. So let me tell you a little bit more about my book. It's called Fistful of Gold, and I wrote it because I want you to be able to go out and find for yourself Fistful of Gold. And you can see that it's an encyclopedia with all kinds of information, pictures, and that sort of thing. It's non-color, but color would have cost me a lot more to have printed, and so the book would have cost a lot more. It's for sale on Amazon, and you can pick it up. I'll put a link in the description below. I also serve as the editor for a prospecting magazine. It's ICMJ's Prospecting and Mining Journal. And honestly, you should check that out. We got stories and information, legal stuff, everything you know to increase your skills as a prospector. I write articles in this every month, and a lot of other very experienced prospectors contribute to the magazine as well. So check the magazine out. Also, I have a website, and the website is at NevadaOutbackGems.com. I'll put a link for it in the description below, but there's gobs of information there that you will find useful in your prospecting efforts. Finally, I want to say that I really appreciate your comments and thoughts, and even positive criticism. Don't come on there and just toss out insults because I'll just delete your comments. But if you've got helpful things to say and questions to ask, do write and put those in the comments, because I answer my comments to people, and you'll hear from me in responding to you. So if you've enjoyed this video and you like what you see and you're interested in finding out more, well then sign up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so they'll let you know when I post new videos. And like it and share it if again you see stuff that you really are excited about. And I'll be coming out with lots more new videos, and so we'll see you again real soon.